Good one.
Perfect.
So, what's your relationship with the first movies came out a little longer than you guys that watched it when it was released, but before we were born?
Yeah.
Remember when you first time that you...
Before we were born.
Yeah.
I do remember watching it, but like so young, and I remember being very scared, but I don't really remember the details until I watched it again once we were cast.
Right.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen it until I auditioned for it, and just like I was saying, I thought it was gonna be like a straight-on horror movie, kind of like these modern-day horrors, like Saw and stuff like that, and had so much class to it and sophistication, and it's a really good story, and Gregory Peck. And I was just really impressed with the first Omen. So I started at the beginning of the second Omen, and it just didn't quite. It wasn't quite my cup of tea.
Well, luckily the series is not based on the second Omen.
Yeah.
Or the third, or the fourth.
Yeah.
So you're coming into a series that, like I said, it's based off of the first. So you're ignoring the second and the third, but you're going back to a series that is, from late 70s. Mm-hmm. So what do you think that you, as kind of a modern actor, can add to a series that a lot of people remember watching when they were much younger, with kind of an older style of direction and storytelling?
It's a very specific question. Well, there were no black people in that movie, so I'm going to add that. So that's something I can add.
It just for me, at least for my character, he's oblivious to all this world that he is apparently in, and so as an actor, just kind of I suppose the same way, To me, it was just another show. It's the new set of characters and actors, and that's how I was treating it until there came a point for my character that yes, he does cross into this world and he sees with his eyes. Because he doesn't believe in that stuff in the beginning. There comes a point where he's like, oh wow, this is more than meets the eye, and so. The way I treat it is just like any other project. Go into it.
You mentioned, how there's no black people or people of color in the older version. How do you feel about women of color sort of being featured a little bit more in the horror genre in and of itself? And how do you feel about being sort of a part of this new change? It's not new, but this change that's going on with women of color doing more horror.
I think it's really cool. It's not necessarily the genre that I gravitate towards first, but now that I'm on a show that's kind of more like a thriller and more horror, I think it's really cool, and I've now become aware of this huge fan base. There's a huge people of color fan base for horror. It's really exciting, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I think it's awesome.
For both of you, like in the third episode, which is where I think we're at right now in the broadcast, you guys are both started looking at his notebook and Damien's notebook and checking them out. Do you guys deep down, do you suspect that there could be something else going on?
No. I don't. I think
Simone does, absolutely.
I think it's nonsense.
He thinks it's nonsense. I think Simone, because, in the first episode, she's lost her sister in a freak accident, essentially. So for her, she's very raw and very confused and searching for answers. So if, when you're grieving like that, I think anything that gives you some sort of relief or closure is welcome. So yes, I think that there could be something going on, and I continue my search. That's not a spoiler. I continue my search.
No.
I think that's pretty obvious.
You guys kind of started teaming up a little bit together. We saw that in the last episode. Is that a relationship that's going to continue as we move forward, or
in his dream?
Yeah. I think we kind of end up as kind of like having like a brother-sister, like sibling relationship. I think I try to. Yeah, I know, right? I was pushing Glenn. I was like, come on. But it was too soon.
Funeral, really? The funeral?
At the funeral.
Yeah.
But I think we kind of balance each other out. I think you want to go for it. I kind of try to hold you back and try to give them the space. You know?
You guys are definitely on the case together. Is that kind of safe to say, or
No.
no, not really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Me.
So you're more following like the clues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can you guys talk a little bit about the atmosphere on set? You guys have like pranksters or like, and you guys have like a lot of intense scenes. You do anything to cool down afterwards? You kind of just go to your chair afterwards.
I would say, like one of the first days shooting with Bradley, we had like a dance off. He started playing some kind of thing some music on his iPhone, and me and him were like sitting there for 15 minutes dancing together. So that's the kind of the energy we had off screen, and there was a lot of pranks. It's a long story, but the hot sauce thing.
Oh.
The gummy bear.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have like 45 minutes, I can tell you.
Goofing off.
But yeah.
But offset, like in our downtime, we did a lot of karaoke, which was fun.
Which she's like a professional singer, you guys. She made me want to put a zipper on my mouth.
What's your favorite
We
song?
bonded. My favorite song?
Yeah, to sing.
To sing?
Like your go-to karaoke track.
Oh, that's really hard. I like to do, I like to get Whitney Houston in there. Love Jackson 5. Kind of been dabbling. I dabble. I try to change it up. Give people different things,
So who's the best singer and who's the best dancer then on set?
She's definitely the best singer, and I think I'm definitely the best dancer.
Who's the best at pulling a prank?
Bradley. He took a prank, without getting into it, he took a prank that was supposed to be meant for him, and he turned it on the prankster.
Wow.
To the point where they were calling a medic because he was going into anaphylactic shock. Okay, so short story. So one of our actresses wanted to. He hates hot things, but he loves like sweet things. So she put hot sauce on gummy bears, and basically gave it to everybody. And his was specifically had hot sauce on it, and so he didn't eat it in the trailer where you're supposed to. And we're supposed to film it, and then I saw him in his trailer. He was eating. He's like, "Wait, this stuff tastes like shit. Like what this is the worst gummy bears I ever had." I'm like, "Bro, I'm so sorry. We're trying to prank you. Like it's supposed to be a hot sauce on it." I was like, "How would you like to turn it around?" Tiffany, the actress. So he's like, "Okay." So he went back into the trailer, the makeup trailer, and he started taking it in front of me. Everyone that was filming it, thinking that he was just gonna go but he started going into like this anaphylactic shock, and he went on, started convulsing, started foaming. And we're like, "Oh my God, he needs an EpiPen." Someone had an EpiPen. Someone took out the EpiPen and was about to go stab him. Do it like this. I was like, "Let me do it." I was like, "How do you use this thing?" And I was like hitting him. I'm like, "Brad, you gotta get up. I'm gonna have to stab you." And Tiffany, who was trying to, was doing this prank, was like in tears. She thought she had killed our lead actor.
That's a good story.
That's a good one.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.